Today we're going to be installing Kriega luggage on my motorcycle. So let's get straight into it. So today we're going to be installing the US Drypacks. We're not going to be doing the backpacks that Kriega supply. We're just going to focus on the actual luggage range for those that are kind of looking into touring later in this year in 2025. So we've got the US 20, a US 30 and two US 10s that we'll be installing on this lovely CB 1100 RS. With that being said, what you get in the box is of course your Kriega bag, hopefully with some straps as well as some subframe loops as well. So we're going to be installing that onto the subframe. You can also install it under the seat in that area if you need to. But for me, since I already got this luggage rack on my bike, because I do like going for long distance travels, it's going to be a lot easier on my life to install this Kriega setup. So with that subframe loop that you get supplied with every Kriega bag, what we're going to do is now attach the last one onto the actual mount, or my external subframe, let's say. So what you do is feed it from bottom to top, feed it through the buckle on the one side, obviously, like so. Get it nice and taut, so it's like that, and then feed it back through the other side. Now you might be thinking there's a lot of excess there, and you would be correct. What you're meant to do is either cut them off and then finish off the edges with a lighter so it's shorter, or you can keep it nice and long just in case you have a big bike. Let's say you wrap it up, tuck it away somewhere and completely forget about it. But for now, we're just going to leave it hanging and chilling like that. The next thing on the agenda is to get one of the bags. What we're going to use is the US 30 Drypack, this nice little Cordura bag, dry sack on the inside, completely waterproof. Mount it on top like this, facing towards the front of the bike, or depending on what way you're facing. And then what we're going to get are the little hooks. Now these hooks slot into what we just installed on the subframe. So like so, make sure it's facing the right way. Have it mounted through here, pop it through, and it connects up to the top of the US 30, like so. And you'll see later on in the video, this is going to be a repetitive process that we'll be doing when we mount the US 20, US 10, and everything else. So I'm just going to quickly pop the base on, and then we'll move on to attaching the US 20 and the US 10s. Now all the straps are on, we're going to tighten them down. This is going to be our base. This is the US 30. Obviously you're going to have it heaviest to lightest, as you don't want it to be top heavy. You don't want it to be looking like an upside down triangle and end up making it really difficult to ride around those lovely bends in Spain. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the US 20 on, but a little tip that I have that I've used when I was on my last tour was to always put the items you use the least at the very bottom. So this could be your tents and everything else like that, things that you're going to use once you get to where you're going, if that makes sense. And then as we go up higher, quick and easy accessible items. So at the top will probably be my passport, my cards, my waterproofs, a spare t-shirt if I don't get my waterproofs on in time, and a nice box of flammable sticks. Let's call it that. Right, let's put the US 20 on. Okay, cool. So how this mounts is exactly the same as you would expect with the US 30. You're just going to mount it on top like so. Those hoops that we saw earlier, like we do down here, are actually on the bags themselves. So this one is for the 20, so if I was going to go a little bit higher, which I wouldn't suggest, you can attach it there. But for us, we have some spare ones underneath. So we'll attach this one to the US 20. I need to find where I put the straps. So as you can see, I've already started, actually you can't see, I'll show you in a second though, but I've already put one strap on the one side. Now for me, I'm going to go the opposite side of it just to try and make it as even as possible. Like you've seen already, this bike has been lifted on the center stand, so if you don't have one, get yourself a paddock stand, because there have been times where I've done it on the side stand, went to lift the bike up and it tilted all the other way, and I nearly dropped my bike with everything on it. Not good. So basically same sort of concept. You're going to chuck it on over here on this side of this US 30, connect it at the top here. In this you also get extensions if you need it, if it's a bit of a stretch to try and get on. So click that into place, cinch that down, and then we can start moving on to the other two. Now as you can see, it's actually a really quick and easy install. I know it comes with lots of bits and bobs, honestly, and it can be a bit daunting, but it's a really simple process. Kriega have been doing it for such a long time that anyone can do it. your 10-year-old kid could do it with no issues at all. So we've got the US 20 on now. We're going to put the 2 US 10s on either side. Again, we're trying to distribute the weight evenly so that we don't stack it around the bends. So just so I can show you guys a bit more, this is what the box looks like with all the bits and bobs inside of it. There are your hooks. There are the ones that go into the subframe. And for the bigger bags like the US 20 and the US 30, you'll actually get some extension straps with that, as well as a shoulder strap so you can just lug it over your shoulder once you get to the destination after a long, hard day. Now, the thing with the US 10 is you can actually attach it to the backpacks if you choose to as well, because they also have the little hoops that you can attach this bag onto the back of it, essentially making a 25 litre into a 35 litre, which is always really cool. So what we're going to do now is attach it on the sides. And now, normally with the US 10s, if you have them on the sides, this is where I would start to put like your tools, the things you're going to need, and if all else fails, something happens to your bike. So cable ties, your tyre repair kit, spare inner tubes if you need that. If you have tubeless ones, you're going to need the puncture repair kits and everything else like that, and all the 10mm spanners that you can dream of. Now, same sort of concept. It's going to sit on like so, and what we're going to do is going to try and actually get this mounted onto the buckles themselves. All right, as if with magic, the one has already been installed on the left hand side. We'll move on to the other side. We did it off camera just because we want to save a little bit of time. We don't want to waste your time either. But yeah, that wasn't mounted that way. You shouldn't have it like that high. You could go that high. You could even go even higher. Take a video please, and then I'll send it into You've Been Framed. Like as we have already been doing, we're going to do the same sort of concept once again. You'll get your little hook, you're going to attach it to the top of the bag, like so. Maybe it would help if it was facing the right way. Connect it up to the top portion here. And that's that bit done. We're going to do that on either side so we can have it hanging nice and freely. Do it on this side too, through this hoop, like so. Oh, stop running away. And then we can start attaching the one at the bottom. So again, what I've done is I've double stacked it off the bottom US 30. Now it's completely up to you how you would mount it. You can even mount it down to this one if you really want to. But for me, I'm just going to double mount it on here like so, because there's enough space for another to squeeze in. Click that into place. Last one. Cool. All that's left to do is to cinch everything together so it's not like this trying to drift around the corners with you, but you can cinch it down, make sure it's nice and secure. It's all evenly distributed. It's not like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and it's just a nice compact unit for when you're going on tour. This is very scientific. This is a very important study that you guys need to know at home. So basically what we've done is try and estimate how many Skittles can fit in a US 20 dry pack. So in order to do that, you have to make the assumption that the volume of a Skittle, a typical Skittle, is about a small oblate spheroid. Dimensions are 1 centimetre, volume of approximately 0.3. And Skittles cannot pack perfectly due to their shape, 65% for a small round object. So basically, with all the maths involved, you can fit 36,000 Skittles in a US 20. Add another 10 for a US 30. See, I'm good at maths. Fun fact for you. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. Little tidbits here and there. Hopefully that was informative enough. I don't want to make it overly complicated because it's not a complicated process. So if you did like this video, give us a thumbs up. Comment down below what you would stuff in a US 20. Maybe it's going to be some hair clips. You never know. Be sure to subscribe, ride safe, and we'll see you all soon. Next time we should really fill this up.